And it looked like Chennedy Carter has finally broken her silence about this Caitlin Clark situation. Chennedy Carter just jumped out the window and justified an assault on Caitlin Clark. So we know Chennedy Carter has always been kind of up against the fence when speaking about this Caitlin Clark situation. We remember when she first got asked about this during a press conference, she stated that she wasn't going to speak on Caitlin Clark. Now we know months later, she still hasn't spoken on the whole situation. That is until today. Yes, Chennedy Carter finally broken her silence about the Caitlin Clark hip check.
So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and, you know, the rest of the folks. And then we get to the body check. This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue. And it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's part.
Can you break down that situation that happened?
Yeah. So, in basketball a little bit, there's things called talking, what you like to call smack or whatever everybody likes to call it.
Yeah.
Plays before things are said, you know, that's a part of basketball.
Chennedy Carter just called her infamous foul on Caitlin Clark a little tap. Nearly a year after slamming the WNBA's biggest star to the ground, Carter's breaking her silence with a justification that's left fans stunned and analysts shaking their heads. With the 2025 season weeks away and no team willing to sign her, her words are either a bold defense or a final misstep. Can Carter's explanation save her career, or has she dug her own grave in a league riding Clark's wave?
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
It was June 1st, 2024, in a heated Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever matchup. The score was tight, the crowd buzzing. Carter drills a mid-range jumper, narrowing the gap to 4 points. But instead of resetting on defense, she cuts across the court, locks eyes with Caitlin Clark, and, bam, delivers a shoulder check that sends the rookie sprawling. Reports say Carter yelled an expletive at Clark before the hit, and replays confirm it was no accident. Refs initially call a common foul, but the WNBA upgrades it to a flagrant one the next day, labeling it unnecessary and excessive. The clip goes viral, sparking outrage and debate. Carter's silence for months only fueled the fire, but her past hinted this wasn't out of character.
This wasn't Carter's first rodeo when it comes to on-court issues. Her history of volatility became a major talking point after the Clark incident. In 2021, while playing for the Atlanta Dream, she was suspended indefinitely for what the team called conduct detrimental to the team, following a heated argument that escalated beyond acceptable bounds. This pattern of behavior had already raised red flags about her professionalism and ability to function within a team structure.
Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
Carter's no stranger to trouble. Back in 2021, while with the Atlanta Dream, she was suspended indefinitely for conduct detrimental to the team. The reason? She got into a shouting match with teammate Courtney Williams after refusing to cheer from the bench, reportedly challenging her to a fight. The Dream traded her to the Los Angeles Sparks, who later waived her in 2023 for similar attitude issues. Carter played in Turkey before landing with the Sky in 2024, where she averaged an impressive 17.5 points per game. But her knack for scoring couldn't outshine her reputation for volatility. Her silence after the Clark incident only made things worse.
It's one thing pushing Caitlin Clark, and it's another thing blindsiding her. Like, I don't think there's no justification for that. Like, to be honest, we can be honest here.
Post-game, Carter stonewalled reporters. Asked about Clark, she snapped, "I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions." On social media, she leaned into the defiance, posting "hoop" or "shut up" and sharing memes that mocked the backlash. Fans flooded X with anger, calling her actions dirty and accusing her of targeting Clark out of envy. Some even labeled it an assault, echoing a Chicago Tribune editorial. Carter's refusal to explain or apologize turned a single foul into a career-defining scandal. Meanwhile, Clark's star power was reshaping the WNBA.
Now, what little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a movement. Her rookie season smashed viewership and attendance records, packing arenas and drawing corporate sponsors. Dubbed the league's golden child, her marketability has brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA. When Carter knocked her down, Clark didn't retaliate. She stood up, dusted herself off, and kept playing. Days later, she told reporters, "It's competitive. Emotions run high. I don't think she owes me anything." Her poise only amplified Carter's defiance, painting them as opposites in the public eye. But the story took a darker turn off the court.
I said Chennedy Carter wasn't going to make a WNBA roster. And as it sit, April 20th, training camps start for teams in 7 days. Training camp for a majority of the WNBA start April the 27th. Chennedy Carter is not on any WNBA roster. Want to know why? Because it's Chennedy Carter's fault she's not on any WNBA rosters.
The foul ignited a cultural firestorm. Clark, a white rookie, was framed by some as the WNBA's savior, while Carter, a black player, was cast as the villain. Media outlets hammered Carter, with some calling her actions egregious and others questioning her professionalism. But players like Natasha Cloud pushed back, arguing on X that the outrage was rooted in racism, pointing out that physical play is common in the league. Fans split along racial lines, with some hurling slurs at Carter and others accusing Clark's supporters of bias. The debate exposed tensions in a sport striving for unity. After months of silence, Carter finally spoke, but not how fans expected.
I think a play before, maybe I was elbowed. Okay, that happens. Think the next play down, maybe something was said. And then maybe there was like a little clip of somebody like yelling in my face. And then we go down the court. Then I hit like a little bucket, you feel me? Come down, hit like a little nice little mid-range pull up. And then I just like, just give her like a little like, I'm here. Like, I don't think it was, what's crazy? Me and my brother went back and watched, and we seen a lot of clips in the NBA of guys getting like pushing LeBron. Like, I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody who like pushed LeBron out of bounds, like said, man, I was mad because like we couldn't stop him.
In April 2025, with WNBA training camps looming, Carter sat down with streamer N3 On to address the controversy. Her take? The foul was just basketball. A little tap to show she was here. She claimed Clark elbowed her earlier in the game, a detail no footage backs up, and compared her hit to NBA players shoving LeBron James, saying it was just competitive fire. Fans erupted on social media, with one comment capturing the mood. "You all seriously don't believe her, do you?" Analysts called it a desperate PR move, pointing out that replays show clear intent, not a casual nudge. Carter's justification didn't clarify. It doubled down. Why did she choose now to speak out?
She did. She stopped and went through. That is not... We watched the clip. There is no way that we're letting this happen. Like, saying that it was nothing. Like this is not just a tap.
Carter's timing is no coincidence. As of April 2025, she's unsigned with no contract, no training camp invite, not even a whisper of interest from any of the WNBA's 12 teams. Even the Chicago Sky, where she led in scoring, didn't offer her a qualifying contract. A shocking move for a player of her talent. An anonymous executive summed it up. "We wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole." Reports suggest Carter's attitude created locker room tension, with teammates frustrated by her lack of accountability. Her latest interview, dismissing the foul as no big deal, only reinforced why teams are steering clear. The WNBA's priorities tell a bigger story.
This is crazy, and this changes everything, because all this time, we've been waiting on Chennedy Carter to take responsibility for what she did to Caitlin Clark. It shows me, I ain't even got to watch all this footage right here, but I am going to look at it, but it's showing me right now that she still is not taking responsibility for her actions. She's finna blame this whole situation on Caitlin Clark supposedly talking smack to her.
The WNBA is booming, with new TV deals, surging viewership, and Clark at the forefront. To protect this growth, insiders say the league's eyeing stricter conduct rules, especially after incidents like Carter's. Her justification clashes with the WNBA's push for professionalism and unity, making her a liability in an era where image matters. Clark's rise has set a new standard, and Carter's refusal to own her actions puts her on the wrong side of the league's vision. Her absence from rosters isn't just about one foul. It's a warning about what happens when talent meets denial. Can Carter recover from this? At 27, Carter's at a crossroads. Her scoring ability is elite, but her justification has pushed teams further away. Other players have overcome scandals, but they showed remorse and growth, qualities Carter's interview lacks. Some fans argue she's being blackballed, a victim of media bias and racial tropes that paint black players as thugs. Others say her history, from Atlanta to Chicago, proves she's a risk no team can take. Could a franchise gamble on her talent hoping she's learned? Or has her defiance ended her WNBA story? This saga leaves one question unanswered. Chennedy Carter's attempt to justify her attack on Caitlin Clark has backfired, cementing her as a cautionary tale in a league chasing greatness. While Clark prepares to lead the WNBA into a new era, Carter's stuck defending a moment that's defined her career for all the wrong reasons. Her words were meant to rebuild her image, but they've only deepened the divide. Will she find a way back? Or is her refusal to take accountability her undoing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does Carter deserve another chance, or has she crossed a line for good? Smash that subscribe button and hit the bell to stay locked into this wild WNBA drama.